So we are in the village of Berkswell, ready to set off to Temple Balsall, and then we'll loop back round on other footpaths. So I hope you enjoy the next leg of the Heart of England Way. Bound to be some mud, some spaniel fun. Hope you enjoy it. We came down that path on our last walk and headed into the village of Berkswell. But as we are rejoining the Heart of England Way, we are carrying down this way. John the Baptist Church in Berkswell. So this cross is believed to be Saxon and predates the church. First muddy water of the walk. Now we will actually come back that way, which is the way a lot of people that we were just following have turned off to, but we are doing Heart of England Way. Straight on, this way boys! Come on! Right, first problem, Heart of England Way is supposed to go straight across that way. And there's no Heart of England Way sign here, but that does say public footpath goes left. So we'll try it and hopefully we can get round to where we need to be. Sort of going in the wrong direction, and I've checked the Heart of England Way website and they still show the route goes straight on. So I'm hoping that at some point it will take us over there, because that's sort of the direction we're meant to be walking in. Okay, so we were just walking down the fence that way and then we're coming back on ourselves. So yes, it was just slightly confusing because there wasn't a Heart of England Way symbol, and as I say, their website doesn't show this diversion. But I've just passed the Heart of England Way sticker, so I'm happy we're still en route. Not the best scenery to show you. HS2 destruction. Okay, we've just come to the A452. We've just got to go down that way, not too far, over a bridge, and then we should be able to turn right and get onto some decent walking lines. We're now on Wootton Green Lane. We are just walking down here for about, dogs are pulling me everywhere, for about 500 metres I think. And then we should be back on footpaths, but having crossed that big A road, it is much more peaceful and much more gentle. So it's definitely straight on, even though it looks like you're going in somebody's private house. It's definitely this way. And actually there's a footpath, I think, just down here where we turn off the drive. So we came off the private driveway, through this little gate. I'm just going to walk around the edge of this field. And hopefully I can show you rather nicer countryside than that little bit of roadwork. But considering how close we are to, Coventry and Birmingham and all these built-up areas, you can put up with a few hundred metres of roads to get out into the countryside. Isn't this lovely? It is still March, believe it or not. It's Mothering Sunday. Beautiful blue skies. And very happy spaniels. Very beautiful old historic cottage. We're just walking alongside this road, not very far, like 100 metres. Saracen's Head pub if you need a little refreshment. We're going to turn down Magpie Lane, and then there is a gate just on the right, and we'll get onto a footpath. I've just rejoined Magpie Lane briefly, or a branch of Magpie Lane, and we're just going to turn right up ahead. For some reason my app at this point keeps telling me to turn left when she means turn right, and I notice when I've done this section of the walk in the past, it did the same thing. So if you're using the Komoot app, for some reason on Magpie Lane it gets its left and right confused. That wonderful timbered house there. Now all these reeds show you how wet this ground normally is. It is only the end of March. That's a noisy old plane going overhead. So it's only the end of March, and yet this ground is really quite dry considering how wet it could be. Just shows you what a dry winter we've had. Certainly compared to last year. Let's hope that's not an omen, it's going to be a wet summer. I believe this might be the River Bourne, which I read some very interesting information about its importance and its uniqueness, and I will try and find that, and I'll put it over the top of the edit. This is why always keep an eye out for livestock. Obviously these are ewes with some very young lambs, so put your dogs on leads. So this is the point where we're going to leave the Heart of England Way and make our return leg. It is a sort of in the middle of nowhere, so when we do the next leg we'll probably walk up alternative footpaths to get back to this point and then pick up the Heart of England Way again. So we're just going to cross this road called Balsall Street. We pretty much go straight over, and then we are heading to the village of Barston. So I was wrong before, that stream we passed was not the River Blythe, which this is definitely, I have double checked. I understand that the River Blythe is unique amongst English rivers, that its natural headwaters end up both in the North Sea through the rivers Tame and Trent, and by virtue of 19th century engineering, via a feeder reservoir to the Stratford Canal and the River Avon, also find the Bristol Channel. Boys, this way. Come on. Really? Come on. I really hope we find another stream before we get back to the car. Filthy spaniels. That is the village of Balsall. We're going to follow this hedge line up the hill. Oh, fabulous. Oh, I'm assuming there's a walled garden on the other side. Not the prettiest farm track, but a good one for dogs to be able to be off. Very quiet. I've seen one lady running. We've pretty much got the place to ourselves. Very blue skies. And we cross paths with the River Blythe again. I think the bank's a bit steep, unfortunately, for the dogs to have a wash. We're going to go past the edge of the golf club shortly. You're like a Timotei advert. So we just need to go over this bridge and then walk down this lane. 500 metres I think, so not the most exciting, but it'll be fine. There has just been a lot of swearing as my original footpath was blocked because of HS2. So I've just walked along the side of this main road to get on that footpath, which is also blocked because of fucking HS2. Well, seeing as my planned routes have been completely disrupted by HS2, which, as you can probably tell, I don't like, we're just going to do this sort of little loop through this field on this footpath and join back the route. At least the boys are having a nice run. We're almost back at the car, back at the church, the village of Berkswell. I have to say that wasn't best return route. It was really marred by HS2, so I am going to try and plot a better return route for anybody who wants to do this walk as well before I upload the GPX file, but sections of it were beautiful, like this bit here. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you'll maybe go back and watch previous episodes of Heart of England Way if you haven't seen them already, and looking forward to seeing you on the next one.